7, 6, 5.
Press record.
4,
Press record.
3, 2.
Hey, cool cats. I'm John, and this evening I want some answers about trouble in the Ukraine and the missing Malaysian airline flight. It'd be difficult to stop us now because we're live.
Johnny wants answers. Give John some answers tonight. I said, John wants answers. Give John some answers tonight. Give John some answers. Give it to him right now.
Wow, we've classed up the show. Check your calendar. If it says April 10th, 2014, then we're live. My guest tonight is Keith Statenfield. Look at him, all dressed up. You wouldn't recognize him normally. He's the host of Keith Explains on this fine channel. What time are you on? Wednesdays?
I don't know.
8:30?
I don't pay attention.
Yeah.
I think Wednesdays at 8:30.
He's my guest tonight because he's a news junkie, and I couldn't get anyone better.
Yeah. It's usually that second one.
So we are delighted to have our live musician on the show, Shirley Brown. She's a jazz singer, also known as Shelley Mosser,
Yes.
who used to perform at the Mosser Victorian Hotel. It's interesting how they named the hotel after you. You must have been really good at singing the jazz there.
Much better than that.
So Shirley is an amazing person. Most people, early in their life, become alive, and then later in their life are not alive anymore. But not Shirley Brown. If I have this correctly, she became alive, then not alive, then alive, then not alive, then alive, then not alive, and now she's currently alive.
Very much alive, mind you. Very much so.
That was the 70s. It was a crazy time.
Yes. And the 60s. A very crazy, crazy time.
So her entire story, fascinating story. Her entire story is on the Jenny Lin show. So Jenny Lin interviewed her, and I think that interview will be showing up next Wednesday on KMVT, here on KMVT. What time, Jenny Lin?
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock, right before Keith Explains. So come for the Jenny Lin. Stay if you're not tired enough for Keith Explains. Yeah. Now, you and I, Keith, we have goofy shows. But Jenny Lin, she takes on the serious topics, right? Like, we're goofing off about whatever we've goofed off about so far. Yeah, Jenny Lin has some very serious topics about inspiring people and inspiring whatever. Yeah, inspiring.
Very inspiring.
What's going on here? I swear I'm high or something. I mean, this
show is a little different than
it's
our
like
usual.
I woke it up and it's the 50s. I mean,
we're like in a jazz
you've got a
club with
hat
our
on,
nice
and
little hat and
it's like
dressed
you're
up
on
nice.
lewds. It's like you're on. Who am I? Why am I here?
Have you noticed that
Because we love you.
Have you noticed that all the shows on this station have the host's name in it? Like there's John Wants Answers.
Yes.
There's Keith Explains.
Yes.
The Jenny Lin Show.
Yes.
What's Up with Andrew's Hair. Yes. All these shows. With
I think I was the first. I was a trendsetter in the future, which is when I think my show started, because we're in the 50s, I think. I mean, the hat.
If you've never seen the show before,
and you haven't,
don't expect us to look like this all the time.
Ever again.
This show's like a courtroom drama. I'm the prosecutor, my guest is the expert witness, and you at home are the jury. And it's your job to convict or acquit the topics.
For this show, I assume all the people in the jury are white dudes, though.
Why would you say that?
Because it's the 50s, and that's how it worked then.
We have a middle-aged lady, we have a young lady, we have another young lady, we have foreigners who are not citizens. That can't be right.
That can't be right.
That can't be right.
No.
Yeah, it's quite the mixed-up jury tonight. We don't follow the U.S. Constitution laws. This is a, what's it called, a monkey court? What do they call it?
Kangaroo
Kangaroo court. we'll be taking your tweets. Tweet us during the show, and we will read your tweets on the show, and we'll answer them, and it'll be great. Tweet us at John Wants Answer. There's no S on the end because the S is for suck. And if you don't like Twitter, I'm with you. So go to our website instead. Go to johnwantsanswers.com, and there's a contact link there. You can go there and send us a message from the website. We'll read those too. We have a top 10 list tonight for the first time. We have top 10 reasons David Letterman is retiring. Let's hear a little song about that.
David Letterman, he's going away. He's been doing his work so long. David, we want you to stay for one more year, David.
All right. We got to be doing this more often. Definitely classes up the show a little bit. All right. So we have a top 10 list here. Why don't you kick us off here, Keith, with number 10?
Number 10 reason Dave Letterman is retiring. Regis is bored in retirement and won't stop bothering Dave to play shuffleboard.
Number 9, he misses Mujibur and Sarah Jewel. Remember them? They were the...
They were great.
They ran the souvenir
They had the
store
store with the
next door.
souvenirs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that store's not there anymore.
No, they lost their lease.
Yeah.
All right, number 8.
Number 8, he needs to keep his schedule open for the filming of Cabin Boy 2.
I've heard Cabin Boy 1 was pretty terrible. I've never seen it.
It was hilarious.
Now I do want to see it.
I have it on my DVR.
Really?
Yeah.
I got to come over sometime. Number 7. Remember Leno once saying, "If I'm going down, I'm taking you with me." And you know, Leno is no longer on the Tonight Show.
What?
He went down, so now he's going to try.
Yeah,
and
he
take
got fired. I heard he got fired.
Hey, Shirley, why don't you tell us number 6?
Number 6 is David's gonna need some time off to handle that burrito he ate last night. He needs a lot of time off.
Oh, those burritos on the street of New York City.
Barf.
They'll send you for a
That's David.
number. Yeah.
We love him. We love him. We truly love him.
Yeah.
Number 5.
Who doesn't like burritos?
I don't like burritos.
Let me tell you, no one doesn't like burritos.
Really?
Yeah. No one doesn't like
The
burritos.
Juan brothers? No Juan and some
No
Juan?
Juan and some Juan.
Number 5. He was fired by CBS when Ball State discovered he hadn't completed Animal Husbandry 101 and was short of a few credits and didn't graduate.
Wow.
Because you know sometimes companies, they look back at your
They do.
transcripts and
They
make
follow
sure
up. They follow up.
it's correct. I guess you didn't make it. All right, what's number 4, Keith?
Number 4 reason Dave Letterman is retiring. He wants to devote his life to getting that sweet Oscar hosting gig back.
Oh, he's got a lot of work.
Yeah.
The whole Oprah Uma
That was
thing.
not, that Oprah Uma Oprah. Not popular.
I watched it live because back in those days, you didn't
That's
have
what you did.
DVRs.
Yeah.
And VCRs weren't as good. I remember that. It was kind of like, what's he getting at? He was big back then.
He's big now. He's been big the whole time.
Number 3 reason we have here, the fine print to his contract stipulates that Carrot Top gets to be a guest in the 24th year. So he's getting out before that kicks in.
Not a Carrot Top fan?
I have nothing against Carrot Top. It's just he doesn't like him.
He's
It's in the
very
contract.
muscular, and he could find you.
I don't know if he's muscular.
He's very muscular.
Really?
Yeah.
I saw him
You
on
haven't
epi-
seen Carrot Top in the last 15 years.
I saw
apparently.
him on an episode of The Neighbors just recently.
Yeah, he's
I think it was
very
The Neighbors.
muscular.
Yeah. What's number 2?
The number 2 reason Dave Letterman is giving up and retiring on the Late Show, he ran out of interns.
Oh man, that's terrible.
Nasty.
Yeah. Yeah.
Real nasty.
All right, and the number 1 reason that David Letterman is retiring from the Late Show, CBS wanted to move from toothiness to truthiness. I don't know if you heard, but Stephen Colbert, who invented truthiness, is going to be taking over the Late Show.
Yeah, I heard. I got a call last night
That'll be very exciting.
when they told me that I wasn't getting the gig. Said we're going with Colbert. And I was like, really? He's a one-trick pony.
See, I thought of this ahead of time.
Yeah.
Instead of me going for the Late Show gig,
Yeah.
I already knew I wanted to go for the Colbert Report gig.
Yeah. Good idea.
I think it would be great if I was the host of the Colbert Report and it was still called the Colbert Report.
Yeah.
Or as I would call it, the Colbert Report.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, is that why you have the hat on?
What, for the...
You're
my audition?
You're auditioning?
You betcha. This is why we look good tonight. Because this is going to take us to the top. And you can be my cue card boy. You be my Tony Mendez.
Man.
Yeah.
I feel bad about Tony. I mean, Tony's losing his job. He's
No,
probably,
no.
he's probably going to
Well,
get
yeah.
deported back
Yeah.
to Cuba.
Is he Cuban?
I believe so.
Wow. If he was going to get deported, he'd have been deported by now. All right. Our first case, John versus trouble in the Ukraine. Shirley?
There is trouble. Trouble, trouble, troubles. Troubles in all the world. Troubles in the Ukraine. Trouble. I've got troubles.
All right. Trouble is in the Ukraine.
We don't call it the Ukraine.
We don't call it
It's
the
just
Ukraine?
Ukraine.
Trouble's in Ukraine.
Yeah. See, the Soviet Union called it the Ukraine because they were trying to. They're trying to imply that it was part of the Soviet Union.
Well, it actually was part of the Soviet Union, wasn't it?
But they were trying to kind of imply that it was just, you know, we call things the if they're not actually countries. So like the Midwest. It's part of America.
Yes.
It's just Ukraine. It's not the Ukraine.
But we have the United Kingdom
Well-
and the United States.
Well, but you don't talk about the United
argument is
States when
falling
you're talking
apart.
about a place.
I remember we had the Olympics going on in Russia,
We did.
nearby, and then
Well,
during the Olympics,
not nearby.
well, Russia's border is Ukraine. I mean, the country of Russia is nearby the
it's-
country of the Ukraine.
I'm just saying, you're in so much trouble now already.
And so during the Olympics, I'm hearing all these news reports. First, it starts off as a protest. Then it turns out the Russians are invading or something. No one really knows where Ukraine is. Let's show a map. We got a map here of the Ukraine. We got a map of Europe first. We're going to see it. There it is. There it is. That's Europe. The red blob, that's Ukraine.
Yes.
And that little purple blob at the bottom is Crimea, the disputed territory.
Yes.
All right, let's zoom in. Let's see. Okay, so now you see Ukraine, much bigger than Crimea.
Much.
And
Yes.
what sea is that on the bottom?
I think it's the Black Sea.
Okay, we got Romania right next door. We got some country I never heard of,
Moldova.
Moldova. We got Belarus up there,
Yeah,
and we have
yeah.
Russia to the right
To the
there.
northeast.
So whenever unrest in the world happens, it's a great geography lesson for all of us to figure out. Hey, there's other countries. Where are they?
Yeah, yeah.
I knew Ukraine was in the Soviet Union, there, which is no longer
No longer exists.
exists. So what happened? So first of all, the citizens protested against their own government. What was that about? What were they protesting?
Well, they had a close election where the person that was elected president was largely kind of affiliated more with, the former Soviet countries. Ukraine has been, Ukraine is kind of divided. Part of it wants to join Europe, join the EU,
Right.
get some freedoms. The economy might improve if the EU helps them out with things.
Right.
And culturally, kind of the people in the northwest part of Ukraine are pretty similar to the people that live across the borders in Europe. They long kind of have thought of themselves as kind of European. As you move south and east, you get to people that are more ethnically and culturally Russian.
Oh. So
and
Crimea, being at the very south east,
Specifically,
is probably the
you
most
get a lot of people in
Russian.
Crimea that moved there out of Russia in the last 150 years. So they think of themselves as Russians that live in the Crimea area. And going back further, I mean, this country hasn't existed as a single country for hundreds and hundreds of years. It's gone back and forth as empires have risen and fallen. The Ottoman Empire, I think, encompassed much of this.
Right. And then the Soviet Union.
And when the Soviet Union came along in the early 1900s, right? I don't think that Ukraine got brought in until after World War II, but.
Okay. So were they protesting that they didn't like how the election turned out?
Well, so the president was essentially taking measures to try to align more closely with Russia. And before he took office, the previous president had been kind of trying to align with the EU. The president, it turns out, has been kind of corrupt and has been enriching himself and other friends of his.
That never happens in the Soviet bloc.
It's rare. It's rare, but occasionally.
Okay.
The previous government wasn't terribly much better. I mean, it had the opposite focus, but a lot of people, were protesting the government, and they got a lot of support behind it, and they eventually, just took over the heart of government, the presidential palace. The former president fled to the somewhere in Russia, I believe. And they brought in the person that had previously been in government on the other, on the other side, and he was trying to be government. Russia itself isn't a big fan of this because, first of all, there are a lot of people that think of themselves as Russians in Crimea. And also Crimea is strategically important to Russia. They have a bunch of gas lines that go through there. The Crimea area is Russia's really only access to warm water ports. So almost all of their shipping goes through that tiny little sliver of countryside. And it gets them access to the Mediterranean, without having to go north through sea ice to ship things via the oceans. They also have a lot of their natural gas and oil lines come down that way for exporting the oil that they generate elsewhere. And so it's important to them that it not be in the hands of a government that is anti-Russian.
Yeah. We got to stop for a break now. When we come back, we're going to take people's tweets. And we're going to hear more about Crimea and Ukraine. And maybe something about
I'm almost out, so we...
Yeah, maybe we'll go on the plane. So we'll see you in a minute. All right.
Really, I swear I'm high. I swear there's something going on. There's
This
something
is
on
a
that
different
pizza.
show
I put some
than
green
usual.
stuff on the pizza I had, and I
thought it was oregano, right?
I thought it was oregano, but it's turned out to be something else because this is just freaky.
Did you have a brownie, Keith?
I didn't have a brownie.
No brownie. A cookie?
No cookie.
All right, we got... someone followed me 8 hours ago. I don't know who that was.
Wow.
We got a tweet. Oh, wow, someone's surprised that we're online. And someone's bragging that he's here. But no actual questions for us. Let's check the mail. Maybe someone went to the website. That's what I would do. Hey, someone went to the website. Oh, no, these are... I'm getting email about the Twitters.
Wow.
Yeah, so
That's
I got all excited about emails, but they're just the same tweets I just saw.
the same ones. I got tweeted from a place that was like, hey, you should come here and get your car fixed. I'm like, is this what Twitter has come to? I mean, they're in San Jose, so at least they were properly localized.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't think I'm going to pick a car repair shop just because they tweeted me.
That'd be a reason not to go to them for tweeting you. I got followed by like the GM dealership or something.
Wow.
Like maybe
Just after you bought that new Tesla.
No, a while ago. I think they thought, he's got a TV show. He's probably rich and wants to buy a lot of cars.
Yeah. Did they call you and offer you a free car?
No.
Then they didn't think
They
that.
probably then watched the show a little later and then stopped following me.
If only he had a hat on, we'd have been giving him free
Shirley,
cars.
are you performing anywhere that you want to plug?
No.
No?
I've gone a different way. I've gone a different way. I gave up show business
Oh.
in 1990.
1990. Man. I remember that year.
Yeah,
Now it's all
you were
about
7, I
God's
believe,
business.
if I'm doing the math right.
All right. So,
Oh, come back in 5, 4, 3, 2.
good evening. And now we've returned to the John Wants Answers program. At this time, we're going to take your tweets and your messages. So let's read some tweets. So Morrissey407 followed us. Next up, Jim Robinson says, the stream is actually functioning over the internet. What hath Babbage wrought? I don't know what that last thing means, Babbage.
Babbage in several years is going to invent the computer. Charles Babbage.
I mean the Babbage machine?
Yeah.
The steam-powered clickety
Well,
clack?
it had gears. It had gears. I don't recall
Yeah.
it was all steam powered.
I remember seeing it at the Computer History Museum.
Yeah, that one wasn't steam powered.
No, it wasn't. It had
Big
some
crank.
guy that was cranking
Big
it
guy with a crank.
for a long time, and it added like 8 and 3.
I have a friend that made one of those out of Lego.
Did it work?
It did.
Wow. So yes, we are streaming over the internet. We're live.
Whatever that is, whatever the internet is, because it's 1950.
Alexander Karapetian, I believe he's the juror who's the foreigner.
Yeah.
He's just bragging. He's saying, seeing John Wants Answers again, ATM. At the moment, I guess.
At the moment.
Yeah,
yes. Or automated telling machine.
Yeah.
But that doesn't make as much sense.
No, it doesn't at all. Because I'm not giving out cash
Maybe
here.
he brought cash.
I think it says hi. He says hi in capital letters, H-I, both capitals. Which is confusing, because I think it's an acronym, like Hawaii.
Yeah.
But it's,
That's an abbreviation, but
yeah, I always expect like big H, little I. Okay, so he's just, I guess, saying hi. So we have nothing to,
we got no tweets.
nothing to answer about that.
If only people watch the show.
And let's see if we have any, we do have a website message now. From Jim, I don't know which Jim this is, maybe Jim Robinson, who tweeted. He said, super classy and educational show, guys. Yeah, this is not educational.
It's not educational.
No.
Again, if you listen to us and then go on Jeopardy, Alex Trebek will be saying that's incorrect a lot.
And of course, it's going to be double jeopardy, and you're going to like risk all your money, thinking,
risk
"Oh,
all
I
your
saw
money
this on
and
John
lose.
Wants
I
Answers.
saw
I know
this
the
on John
answer.
Wants Answers.
I know the answer." All right, so I think that's all the tweets we have. So I want to mention this. Shirley is going to have a book out, coming out soon. This is the time.
Yes.
Coming out later this year.
This is the time.
Well,
I believe.
this will be the time. I mean, it's not out yet.
I
so-
understand this would be 66 love letters from God or to God?
To God.
To God from his daughter.
Yes.
What, his metaphorical daughter. He has many daughters.
One of many daughters.
Yeah. So this is
One of many, many daughters. And sons. And sons.
and sons. It's going to be love letters and pictures.
Paintings.
Paintings.
66 paintings. Yes.
And that's coming out later this year.
Yes.
Will be like on Amazon or
No.
will it be?
No. We're hoping that it will be published, privately. Privately.
Could do one on
Private funds.
Kickstarters. Do it on
Yeah.
Kickstarter.
Private.
Yes,
So
yes.
Don't tell anybody. It's private.
By faith, I say it's going to be one of the New York Times bestsellers.
Okay.
By faith.
If that little 5-year-old could do it.
No.
The little 5-year-old has that book about heaven. Like he's like 6.
Oh, the little boy.
Yeah.
Yes, now
Yeah.
he's 16. Yes.
Well-
Many more people are going to heaven, especially comedians.
No,
Well, that's not us.
Yeah. God has a
Surely.
lot to say to you, John.
He's going to bring me there.
he's
just
got a
to chew
list.
me out.
He's got a
and then send me
list,
back.
in fact.
Yeah. Took it
I
twice.
can't bring you there, neither can my prayers.
Okay. I have quickly one more question about Ukraine. So Russia isn't happy.
Yes.
And so they just said, oh, it's Crimea, it's ours.
No, they
there's
had
no
an
war.
election. They had an election
An election
in only Crimea.
in Crimea.
And they said, do you think we should be part of Russia?
Uh-huh.
And you could vote yes, or you could not vote.
Abstain or yes. That seems a little...
It did well. It got like 90%.
And so who ran the election? Was it Russians who put the
Only
election
the
on?
Crimeans.
The Crimeans decided amongst themselves.
Yeah.
That sounds a little fishy. Do people think this sounds fishy? Not just me.
People do.
Okay. We're running out of time.
Caused some consternation in the international community.
We're running out of time, and I want to hear one more song about the Malaysian Airlines flight. So take it away, Shirley.
Missing Malaysian Airlines, a song for you, those who are sleeping in the ocean blue. Someone is watching over you, missing my friends who sleep below the ocean floor, the ocean floor, the ocean floor.
All right. Wow. All right. So I want answers, and so does everybody else, and there is no answers, really.
Plane crash.
We know plane took off.
Yes.
We know plane stopped sending out the beacon signal saying, here I am, right?
Yes.
We have evidence that the plane turned around
Turned.
into the ocean, like
Flew
over ocean.
another 6 hours.
And
Ran
then
out of fuel.
Well,
Crashed.
we can only assume that the last two things.
Well,
Yeah, it's a logical assumption.
yeah.
I've heard
Planes do run out of fuel after they've been flying for about
Yeah.
6 hours.
I've heard conspiracy theories.
Have you?
Crazy people who say it kind of turned around and then actually landed somewhere
Landed in
safely,
Pakistan, yeah.
and they're going to fly it into a building or something later on.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's
They're like, we got a nuclear bomb. We're going to fly it into a building.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's much cheaper to steal a small plane
Uh-huh.
because nuclear bombs aren't big.
Yeah, they're like the size of this desk, maybe.
I don't want to confirm or deny that.
So it's a sad story. We don't know what happened to anyone.
We're pretty sure though.
We're pretty sure they've
Yeah, they've
passed
tossed the mortal coil. They've exited this mortal coil.
on. They're bereft of life.
Yeah.
Yeah. We shouldn't make light of this too much. know.
You're the one making light of it. I mean, she was all sad, and I'm all sad, and you're
all
just
sad.
a guy
We're
in a
all
hat.
sad. We're all
I'm sad too.
Are you?
It's a sad story. So but they're her pings, right? They have black box pings,
Yes.
but they still can't find it though.
Well, it'll take a while. It's 15,000 feet down.
Does a ping include like a GPS coordinate?
No, it's 15,000 feet down.
What does a ping include? It's just like
The ping is just like it's audio. It's like here I am,
they should upgrade that to have like TCP connections.
like a
And
GPS from
send a little-
15,000 feet under the ocean. You can't get GPS to work in New York City, and you want it to work
Oh, no,
3
no.
miles
I
under
mean,
the ocean.
The box would like constantly look for GPS signal. And remember the last one it got before it crashed and couldn't get a new signal.
Well, that doesn't help. If you can
Okay.
hear the ping, you know where you are.
I can tell we're going to get signal soon that we're out of time. There it is. All right. So, thanks to my guest, Shirley Brown. Wonderful. Thanks to my guest, Keith Statenfield. Somewhat wonderful.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for Artist on Demand and What the Bleep after this. Hey, Jim, that's your show. Am I on tonight's episode?
You should be.
All right. Keep watching for that.
Yeah.
Our next show is May 8th, and we're going to leave you with more jazz or whatever stylings from Shirley Brown.
Thank you. John asked questions. John got no answers. No one called in. No one cared. So I'm gonna cry me a river. Cry me a river. Johnny, dear John, sweet John, sweet John. No answers tonight. Maybe tomorrow.
All right.
Your hair gets a credit?
Oh, high five.